So, hello everyone. Good morning. On this active morning, everybody is excited and active. We already have a very good morning messages in our chat box. So, very good morning, everybody. Let's begin our webinar now. The seed is a source of all vegetation in the universe, and how we treat the seed could determine what our future generation gets to feed on. I am Deepti Gubba. I'm accountable for branding and communications at Gubba Seed Cold Storage. I welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen, to this webinar on knowledge session on biological seed treatment, enhancing seed health and yield. The motive of this webinar is to present to you the seed industry, an opportunity to explore using biologics as seed treatment is to establish healthy crops. We hope this session provides you an insight to learn more about the use of microbials and biologicals to enhance seed health. Guba has always believed in contributing to the industry in a way of sharing knowledge and keeping in track of what's needed for the industry. For the convenience of the smooth delivery of the seminar, all the participants will be virtually muted. We request you to post your questions in the Q&A section, which you will find at the bottom of your screen. All your questions will be addressed in the last 30 minutes of the session. And in case, if due to time constraints, we are not able to take up all the questions, we shall get them addressed through the speaker and mail them to you. Mr. Ketan Mehta is a presenter of today's webinar. He is a renowned speaker at international conferences on the use of biotechnology in agriculture. Having presented more than 40 papers in North America, Latin America, Europe, and Asia, he is an alumni of various prestigious institutions like Harvard and IIM and has degrees in biotech and management studies. With his passion to serve India, he returned from USA and started his own company, EcoSense Labs. The EcoSense Lab company is engaged in agri-biotech and environmental biotech. Ketan Mehta and EcoSense have spearheaded path-breaking research and development for the replacement of chemical pesticide seed treatments like Thiram in India for crops like maize, groundnut, soybean, wheat, cotton, and chickpea. You will get to hear more about this subject from the horse mouth. I now invite Mr. Ketan Mehta to take over for the webinar. Ketan, you can share your presentation and start. Great. Ketan, can you use the option full screen? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks. Technical glitches. Good morning all, and welcome to the world of biologicals and seed treatment, specifically for enhancing seed and soil health. Thanks, Ms. Dipti, for a wonderful introduction to myself and EcoSense. So, without much ado, since we have everyone has other things to get back into. So we'll move on to the next slide. Uh, so seed is a starting point in agriculture. And without that, like exactly what Dipti said, you can't, nothing moves in agriculture or in food or in flowers without the seed. It's the starting point in agriculture. Yield begins with germination. Otherwise, there's no yield. If there's no germination, there's no yield. Nothing. It's lost. And germination is the only chance to optimize the plant population. Uh, it, Seed treatment is the most effective way to get across a product, because if a product needs to be used at a foliar level at say 1 kilogram per acre, then at the soil level it is 1/20th of that. At the seed level it is 1/50th of that quantity. So it's most effective way of getting across a product for helping take care of soil borne fungus or soil borne diseases by reducing the load of that particular agent or agents, as they may be, into the microclimate of the soil or the macroclimate, which is our planet. So that's why it's safe for the environment, farmers, and the seed. It's and the most effective way of enhancing yield, as we've all noticed, is that in the first 30 days, are we able to take care of it or not? And if we are able to provide protection post the 30 days with the use of one single product, I think that's where the entire game has changed, from moving from chemicals which are degrading due to a half-life process of chemistry and physics in the soil, to a biologic which is going to be keeping on multiplying in the soil as long as there's moisture. And that's where the whole key is with using biologicals for seed treatment. It's a sophisticated technology that we're bringing to the world and to India. And why am I saying the world? As we go further ahead, I'm proud to say that along with people from PGTASU at Rajendra Nagar, we've been able to get products living on the seed for more than 21 months, which is not done anywhere in the world. Not by even the biggest seed companies have been able to achieve more than 12 or 14 months. It's helping to reduce plant losses from day one itself, because it's active in the soil, gives an increased plant vigor. And the main thing is, if we are able to provide protection for the entire crop standing period for a particular disease which is endemic in that area, then we're helping save the farmer 1 or 2 or 3 trips into the farm. And every trip of the farmer into the farm costs money. So if we're able to save the farmer the money by making that farmer use seeds from particular brand X with the biologics from EcoSense, we're going to be able to increase the disposable income in his pocket, which is going to make him want to come back to buying seed brand X. It's a new IPM tool, and it's part of the IPM program for sustainable agriculture. It's part of the UNFAO's Sustainable Development Goals for 2030 and 2050. And it's an ecological sustained mode of action. It's most effective in resistance management because of multiple modes of action, as we will see later on, as opposed to with a chemical fungicide, it's only one single mode of action, which is chemical in nature. Like I said before, that they protect the roots and the plant throughout the season, rather and saving repeated doses of chemicals. And in some cases where there is nothing else available specifically for groundnut and aspergillus flowers infections which cause aflatoxin, the mystery of a groundnut is you don't know what has happened inside the kernel until and unless the crop is harvested. By that time, it's too late because it's the fungus has already established itself and the damage to the nut is already done. And there is that produce has no value for the farmer for which can get him a good crop or a good remuneration if it goes for say processing into peanut butter or exports and things like that. So that is a very typical situation where the use of biologics are able to provide a sure shot delivery of controlling of aspergillus flowers for groundnuts. It seems that PAU from in Punjab has laid out a directive for use of trichoderma for controlling Bakane foot rot caused by Fusarium monoliform because as per what reports are stating, there is no other chemical fungicide available which is able to control Bakane to the extent of the entire crop harvest standing of the basmati rice in the Punjab area. And it's highly efficient. So biologicals, the mode of action. So we have seed treatment, and then there's colonization of the roots once the roots start growing. So basically, what we are trying to do with the biologics is occupy space and occupy the real estate on the root. So if we are making our soldiers of Trico, Fosco available on the roots, okay, and being in a ready mode for action, the effect of reduction of the infecting pathogen is reduced because there's a competition for real estate and space on the root zone itself by the good microbes fighting against the bad ones or the infecting ones. So that's the first step is the competition for space and food resources around the root and the root zone. The next is continuous production of metabolites, which are having two kinds of actions. One is a direct antimicrobial activity by secretion of lipopeptides and antibacterials, and the other one is growth promotion by secretion of products like 2,3-butanediol and auxins. And this is what causes the infecting pathogen to go into what they call a stasis or a sense of paralysis where it gets arrested. Subsequently, the cells of Trico and Fosco start working on the cell of the infecting pathogen itself by releasing of lytic enzymes which will break open the cell wall, and the inside protoplasm and cell matter becomes food for our soldiers on the roots. So it's like us trying to live without skin for a very short time. We will be able to survive because we will be losing so much body moisture and vital fluids that we will die very shortly. And the same way of how a cell achieves death is once the cell wall is punctured, there will be cell death. That's how it works. Then in terms of what they call antagonism mechanism, and then we're going into induction of plant defenses, which is called induced systemic resistance. What this does is it activates the salicylic acid pathways within the plant itself, signaling the plant to get into a heightened state of defense and be ready for any action. So right now we are in the middle of pandemic corona, and what is the most important thing that we've been hearing all along right from March or possibly February of this year is build up immunity, do exercise, vitamin D, kadha, ginger, turmeric, so many things, all helping for what? To increase immunity so that if and when the virus does affect us or attack us, then by God's grace and our own immunity, we should at least be able to escape by being asymptomatic. If we are symptomatic, at least then it will help us. Probably if our immune system is good, then to able to overcome the viral load and move forward, and possibly not get into the need of being in hospitalization or other complications that have happened. So this is the same thing that the plant gets into by the microbes which are around the root zone, because they are sensing the onward attack of the infecting pathogen, and they will then communicate to the plants through cellular membranes and secretion of enzymes like salicylic acid, which will move the plant into a heightened state of defense. So, what is the Government of India recommendations for biological seed treatment? And this is available from Government of India Department of Agriculture sites. And this is where I have obtained it from. And this is how they have classified it crop wise. So for wheat, diseases, the chemicals, and the biological used. So it's available. So they're talking about wheat, barley, maize, millets, rice, sunflower, mustard, soybean, chickpea, groundnut, and they're talking about what are all the chemicals that are currently used and where their applications of the chemicals for fungus control slash seed treatment can be replaced by a biological such as trichoderma or bacillus, and in some cases pseudomonas. Then we're going on to vegetables, which is for they've taken into account also chilies, potato, tomato, onions, and cruciferous vegetables. Again, looking at the most commonly used fungicide chemicals and how what are the diseases and how they can be replaced with the use of biologicals, like I mentioned, also pseudomonas and trichoderma and bacillus. So what are the EcoSense products for BST? BST, short form biological seed treatment. I'm going to be using that a lot now. So Tricho is Trichoderma viridi 1% WP formulation. It improves nutrient uptake. It helps in suppressing root infesting diseases. It's tested and recommended for seed treatment. We are the only company that has obtained first permanent registration of Trichoderma viridi in the country way back in 2009. This was achieved because of the fact that we have generated all our own data. We have not relied on the wonderful university system for data generation or for trials or for toxicity or for ecotoxicity or for storage stability. All the data has been generated by us using our own special unique formulation, which is why we have generated our own data well in advance and been the first registrant, permanent registration holder for Trichoderma viridi in our Republic of India. It protects seeds and crops against various fungi. It's economical over chemical fungicides, like I explained, because of there's no repeated use of the chemical fungicides. The next product we have is the EcoSen product for BST is Fosco. It's a phosphate solubilizing bacteria. But we all know that phosphorus is so very much important to help provide nutrition to the root zone at that early time of establishment, and subsequently onwards when there is fruiting, flowering and fruiting happening in the plant. Also phosphorus is the most valued nutrient. So this product is able to help increase the availability of the nutrient at the correct time when it's needed, and that is what's helping to increase root development and seedling vigor. This product has also been tested for and recommended for BST. It helps in inducing systemic resistance because of increasing availability of nutrition, as we will see later on in some of the trials that we have conducted in Spain. So Trichofosco versus Thiram, this chemical fungicide has recently been included in the banned list for India amongst a whole host of 27 other chemical insect pesticides, including insecticides, fungicides, possibly weedicides. That process has been stalled by the legal process for now. But as we all know, Thyram is banned for seed treatment in Europe from 2019-20. In the US, for certain crops for on-farm field treatment, it has been banned since 2007, specifically wheat and groundnut. And I don't think it's going to be very long before Thyram is also banned in India because it is highly toxic. The leachates are highly toxic for birds, fish, mammals, which are receiving the leachates from the soil into water bodies. And that's where the whole challenge for Thyram has come about worldwide. And that's why it's on its way out. So coming to this slide, quadruple mode of action, like I mentioned, competition, basically fighting for space on and real estate on the root, antibiotics, secretion of enzymes and secretions like 6-pentyl alpha pyrone, trichoderma, viridin. Pathogen is engulfed by antagonism. Its cell wall and protoplasm is dissolved and ingested. And ISR protection, basically release of metabolites, providing protective and curative coating all around the root zone against pathogen and helping the plant get into a heightened state of defense and basically immunity building for the plant. Whereas on the flip side, for Thyram, we have only one, which is a singular mode of action, which is chemical and chemistry. And please note, using Thyram is like similar to using a paracetamol. When we were teenagers, possibly paracetamol was given to us at say half a tablet or three-fourth tablet. As time has progressed, we are, God forbid, possibly getting used to having, now we need two paracetamols or maybe two and a half, but it's much more than what we had when we were teenagers. And that is what the whole challenge is that we are facing, is that resistance has developed in the soil by those infecting pathogens against that singular mode of action, which is the chemical mode of action, and more so against that particular dose of the chemical fungicide. And then this is not restricted only to Thyram. There are a whole host of chemical fungicides out there which are facing this issue at the in the in agriculture, not only in India. I think it's all over. Is that you're facing a challenge of resistance management, and because its control is not being effective, repeated doses of chemical fungicide for controlling root and soil-borne diseases is required. Thus, like I said, single dose is sufficient through the entire crop standing period, whereas, as we know, all chemical fungicides achieve half-life within 21 days at the maximum. That means if it is applied at 2 grams per kilogram of seed, after 21 days, only 1 gram of that particular Thyram is available for activity. At the second 21 days or 18 days, depending on the product, that half gram has become 1 gram has become half gram. And then that half gram will become quarter gram. But this is what actually has led to resistance development, because at that mild dose of 1 gram, which is available in the soil for so many years and years pent up, the infecting pathogens have become resistant to that 1 gram of Thyram, which is around in that root zone area for the second 21 days. And that's what's leading to the infecting pathogens getting resistant, possibly to even the 2 grams or the 3 grams. And that's what the challenge which is there for us, which is where, as a biologics, we are able to come up and provide a quadruple mode of action against which resistance is not reported and cannot be reported, because there are different modes of actions. One is physical, one is chemical, one is biochemical, and the third is physiological. So that what is the physical one is the competition for food resources. What is the chemical one is the secretion of the antibiotic or antibiosis enzymes. What is the biochemical one? Is the actual secretion of the lytic enzymes and breaking of the cell wall and ingesting the protoplast. What's the physiological action? Is the immunity development. This is something which no infecting pathogen is going to be able to circumvent at any stage for beating all four, because they are all happening at different times in the plant life. And that's the beauty of a biologic. Uh, like I said, single dose is sufficient through the crop standing period. Pathogens don't develop resistance to unique quadruple mode of action. I just mentioned that. These also help in improving plant mineralization. Uh, you know, like I explained about the toxicity. And lastly is that repeat doses increase the cost of cultivation, whereas this is one single dose at the time of seed treatment, the most efficient and the most effective dosage of a very safe biologics, also keeping in mind that reducing the amount of active ingredient going into the microclimate of the field and the macroclimate of our planet. So now coming to comparison of EcoSense products, Trico, Fosco, and the other biological formulations. Please look at the main difference, which is what the key in this is. The carrier use, my friends and colleagues of seed industry, is groundnut shells, moong shells, rice husk, straw, bagasse. Whereas on the flip side, it's only mainly talc, gypsum, or kaolin. And this is the reason why we are having a unique carrier, not only in India, my friends, but in 5 continents across the globe. No one has a carrier based on these natural products. Everyone is using either talc, gypsum, or clay. We are giving a lunch packet or a tiffin packet of nutrients to the microbe at the time of packing, during the transportation, storage, possibly second time transportation, storage prior to use. And this is the beauty of the EcoSense products, is a lunchbox, because there is no nutritional value in talc, clay, or gypsum for a microbe. We all know that. Whereas these organics are providing carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which are the main building blocks of life, sirs. Without that, life doesn't exist on our planet. Maybe on Mars, I don't know. But at least what we know on Earth, you need these 4 building blocks basically. And that's the entire key of how it works, is that an infecting pathogen in the soil is ready and waiting for the seed to sprout and attack. Our microbes are sitting on the seeds, waiting with their lunchbox. The minute the seed is sown and moisture is adequate and the seed starts sprouting, our friends are out there ready and waiting with their lunchbox. They need only few hours to be ready in fighting mode, whereas the talc, clay, or gypsum carrier needs a couple of days to acclimatize and get its food resource from the soil, and then start multiplying to start its mode of action. That's the main key. Agriculture, my dad used to say, is the riskiest industry in the world. Why? Because there are too many variables which you are not able to handle. And one of the main variables is that it's not a level playing field. It's not fair. The pathogen is not going to say, okay, sir, aap thoda tayar hoke aa jao, be ready, get established, then I'll come to attack. No way. Life is not fair. Neither is agriculture, neither is infection. It's not fair. It's waiting and ready to happen. If you're not ready, you're done. You're lost. Your yield is gone. Why? Because germination didn't happen. Or even if germination didn't happen, emergence didn't happen. Finished. It's dead. The seed is gone. I I'm sure none of us want to risk that with our customers. We want to ensure that deliverables are there, what we want to communicate. Due to the special carrier, shelf life is 18 months. On the seed also at 18 months and moving more closer to 21 plus months as and when data is available. We are hoping that uh, people will be willing to sort of help take this forward to the next level and make it move. Whereas on the flip side, a tag based carrier, if you can check with any of your distributors, anyone will say, sir, a tag based carrier will work for one season. The next season, I will not keep it. I will send it back and ask for a new fresh material. That's what the issue is, not only in India, in most countries, wherever talc is used as a carrier. The issue with India is that it's long, hot summer, so you can't carry material from Rabi into Kharif, or possibly a very prolonged spell of October heat, which in certain parts of the country, which will again dry out the Kharif material and not make it available for use in Rabi in November onwards. So I hope we have been able to put across the main idea of the difference between our product and what are the other biologicals available out there in the market. So now we come to, the effect of the products. You've heard what all the product can do. Now, is it doing it? That's what everyone's interested to know. So what's in front of us is the effect of seedling vigor index of tricho treated cotton seeds. There was a study conducted at PDKV Akola, and we've tried to get inside the mind of the seed company and finding out what are all the different variables that happen. And the variables that happen are interactions between the pesticides, so the insecticides, the fungicides, the packaging material, and storage conditions. All of these things play a role in this. And that's where we have tried to incorporate all of these interactions, possible changes into this situation where we get the feedback. And like you can see in the screen, the vigor index with and without a trichoderma, our product Tricho across all different categories. So imidacloprid, clot, TC, polybag, carton, then Thyram with the clot, TC, polybag, carton, and the control with the cloth, polybag, and carton. So TC is trichoderma culture. Okay, persistence of tricho on chickpea. Sorry. Yeah. So persistence of tricho on chickpea seeds. So this is what we wanted to evaluate as to how long does it stay on the seed initially. Does it within 6 months, if the seed is not used, it starts its journey way back to the processing plant. Usually that's the case in India. And so we said, is it able to survive on the seed for 6 months? Yes. Let's check it out and let's see whether it's able to survive with the chickpea which is treated with deltamethrin. Also in the go down or in the warehouse, there may be aluminum phosphide fumigation done for control of various other pests. So is it able to still work with that? And let's throw in also the packaging variable. So these are the kinds of studies that we have done, and we said let's inquire and check whether what is the CFU count after so many months. And checking was done every 30 days, but we have represented only every 60 days here, starting from 30 days, 90, 150, 180 days. So we are talking about million CFU per gram. Now, that's amazing. How many cells do we need for per seed? Not more than 3 or 4 active living cells. because those cells, those are my friends, Trico friends are ready and willing there and waiting with their lunch pack to acclimatize, to occupy the seed space on the roots and build up their housing units on the root hairs and be ready for the infecting pathogen. And that's the whole key. Now, vigor index on chickpea, again, treated seeds, so we did it one oil seed, one pulse, one rabi crop, one kharif crop. Now, emergence of chilies in Fusarium in an endemic region, which was affected by Fusarium in the Pune area. Just basic, just very basic, one single treatment of the seed, Thyrum, carbendazim, tricho, and we are seeing the emergence. Maize seed treatment trials, field trials. This is the of how the maize seed looks post treatment. There has been no colorant added to this to make it sexy and appealing to the farmer. It is just the color of the thiamethoxam insecticide which was added to the seed, and the brown spots that we see are the spots of or the presence of the particles of tricho and Fosco on the seed. So that yes, it's there. But of course, or subsequently trials have been done with various shiny colorants, and it's working very well using biopolymers of companies which we'll get into. So this was done at the seed technology department of PGTASU at Hyderabad, or what the old days was called Acharya N.G. Rangarao University in Hyderabad, Rajendra Nagar. And so speed of germination index on maize 6 months after storage. So the treatments were, as we can see on the is Tricho-Fosco at 2 grams each per kg of seed, Fosco at 4 grams per kg of seed, Tricho at 4 grams per kg of seed, and metalaxyl at its standard application. Vigor index of BST maize, which is what we can see here, is Tricho Fosco, Fosco, Tricho, metalaxyl. And this is where the entire benefit of enhanced nutrition comes in. So the assumption that we are having is that the availability of phosphorus in that area, in that soil bed of the plot, was something which was low, and the availability of Fosco helped increase phosphorus in the soil and made it easy for the maize roots to absorb it, and that helped to increase vigor index. And that's the key, my friends, to seeing that protection along with nutrition at the correct time will help increase seedling vigor, and in the end it will affect on the yield. So this is the Tricho and Fosco treated maize seeds percentage emergence at 0 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. These are the different treatments that are out there. This is metalaxyl, one untreated control, metalaxyl plus thiamethoxam plus the biopolymer. This was a biopolymer supplied by Centaur India Agri Private Limited. Then Fosco, 2 grams per kg seed, thiamethoxam plus biopolymer, Tricho plus Fosco. So at different applications, this was how the emergence was recorded and observed. Then Tricho Fosco again, different applications of Tricho and Fosco, again untreated control, thiamethoxam, and then Tricho, the researchers and the department said, let's also work at taking a mycorrhiza and the Tricho plus the mycorrhiza and Tricho Fosco plus the mycorrhiza. And this is how it has fared out. I believe in this, if we sit down and look at it in detail, what's coming out is that the one treated with the Fosco is the most effective, followed by the one treated with the Trico Fosco. Now going across borders into Spain, where we have worked with a Spanish company for improving wheat seedling emergence. 22 days after planting is the recording done. Again, and like we've mentioned out here, all different kinds of fungicides, right from old days copper oxychloride to newer molecules out there. And this is what, these are all the generic or the technical names. I have not gone into, listing the brand names because that's a little bit of a challenge. So, people who know the products will be able to understand what we're saying. Again, emergence is better. Now, managing septoria blight in wheat is a very big challenge across most of Central and Southern and Northern Europe. It's a very big problem for them. People who've had a chance to interact with partners abroad in Europe will tell you that septoria blight is a big problem. And this is a thing where at 129 days after planting also, the infection of recorded with Fosco was right here. And this is just one single dose of the product. Okay. Yes, we've not been better than the flutriafol Manan, but we're at a much lower dose and we've not had any other subsequent applications of any chemicals for controlling septoria, whereas all the others have had applications for controlling septoria. So Fosco emergence again in barley for seedling emergence and using other biologicals. And how is it that we have fared? Trico and Fosco again for wheat seedling emergence 25 days after planting in Spain. And how has it fared against all biologicals only? And this is where we are at. Trico and Fosco, whereas these are the two other biologicals, these three, and this is the untreated control. Now moving across the Atlantic to Central America, Guatemala, tomato seedling emergence at 25 days after planting, Trico and Fosco. So this is Trico, this is the Fosco, this is a locally available product in Guatemala with the Trichoderma hertzianum, and this is the untreated control available out there. Trico and Fosco tomato yield kgs per meter squared again. So these are the two produce photographs that we've been sent and shared, and these are the yields in kgs per square meter of the product. So where we are showing that the Trico is at the highest and the Fosco is at almost at par with the local available product Trichoderma hertzianum and over the untreated control. And this again, my friends, is only one application for control of Fusarium wilt related issues in tomato in Guatemala. What are the pathogens and diseases controlled by Trico Fosco? Fusarium alternaria, Aspergillus, Eutypia, Rhizoctonia, Botrytiplodia, Botrytis, bipolaris on wheat is a big challenge nowadays in MP. Pythium, Rhizopus, Phytophthora, Sclerotium, Macrophomina. And what are the diseases? Root rot, seedling rot, sheath blight, collar on paddy, collar rot, wilt, dieback, red rot, damping off, ring rot, grey mold, septoria, spot blotch, kernel bunt, loose smut, and purple blotch. The spectrum is wide, it's large. What we have shared is only information done by using our products. If anyone's interested, I can share tons of information on reported literature of the use of Trico, Fosco, or Trichoderma and Bacillus against for helping to control diseases and pathogens. What are the benefits of biological seed treatment? Uh, like I said, the economical benefits far outweigh the environmental benefits. So it controls diseases through the season, right from sowing till harvest. You don't need to have an application again. Uh, Chemical fungicides get expensive because you're having to do repeat applications. There's an increase in the nutrient availability and uptake, which helps to increase yield by an average of about 10 to 12%. What are the other benefits? It improves soil health and productivity. It's a very important tool in resistance management and IPM because we have a quadruple mode of action. It's safe handling. There's no itchiness. There's no super extra protective gear to wear for people who are working with uh, biologics as opposed to with chemicals like Thyram or others, which lead to a lot of breathing issues or itchiness issues. No residues in the food, and it's part of the sustainable development goals of set by the FAO and the UN to achieve for 2030 and 2050. Coming to the summary, it's an effective BST or biological seed treatment is an effective alternative to chemical fungicides. It's compatible with chemical insecticides like imidacloprid, thiamethoxam, deltamethrin, aluminum phosphide. Bio-friendly polymers of Centaur and Littles are identified, tested, and proven. Sustainable, longer efficacy, and economical. I would like to spend some time on this on longer efficacy. Is that the product is able to sustain on the seed in normal storage conditions, and I repeat, normal ambient storage conditions in a cool, well ventilated place which is covered, of course, not in the sunlight. It is able to, as we have seen, survive and thrive at up to 18 months. Data is available for up to 21 months plus. It will be shared in the due course of time as and when made available to the open people. And this is what leads to the economical benefits of a biological seed treatment over a chemical seed treatment. Large scale adoption in North America, Europe, and Latin America using biologicals. Uh, Case in point, Monsanto has a, well, Novozymes product, Jumpstart, which was fungus based on action of phosphate solubilization, is being used in a very big way in various markets as a on-farm seed treatment or a plant seed treatment just prior to sowing. That then lot of seed treatment of soybean in Brazil with trichoderma and other microbials for beneficial inoculants for nutrients. And in Europe now, big shift away from Thyram to searching for broad spectrum biologicals, which will help provide a good market as a replacement for uh, vegetable seeds and other seeds which were heavily dependent on the use of thyroid. It's a stewardship towards seed and agriculture by being more responsive to the planet and reducing our load of chemicals introduced into the microclimate and the planet as a whole. So complete biological seed treatment technology is available and has been proven by many companies and labs across the world, not only India. Want to get into a win-win collaboration with the seed industry and EcoSense? We are keen to work with you all. Trichophospho seed treatment technology is commercially available. We value every seed, so do you, and so does the farmer. Let's work to achieve sustainable food production, my friends, using Tricho and Fosco made by EcoSense. The savings are up for grabs. Why do I say the savings? Because the farmer is going to have increased disposable income because he will have at least one or two less applications of chemical fungicide for disease control, which will lead for him to be happy with the choice of seed that has been taken and purchased by him for by of brand X, which is going to increase his disposable income and help for whatever domestic celebrations that he needs to do, like weddings or bicycle or cell phone or laptop or painting, whatever you may call it. And for that, he's going to come back to brand X next season because he will very surely remember what helped increase his income. And that's something which the farmer, being a common man, knows only one thing: how much more disposable income stays in my pocket, and how did that happen, and why did that happen. Acknowledgements, Dr. K. Vasant Shetty, Dr. Somani, Dr. Raut, Laneco from Barcelona, Spain, Dr. Sujata Patta, Seed Technologist Department at Rajendra Nagar, Dr. K. Raghavendra, Dr. B. Shivprasad, Rainbow Group, Central America, Centaur India, Agri Private Limited, this GK Santi, Little's Oriental Balm, and Basant Agrotech India Limited. Big thanks to Gubba Group, without which this would not have been possible. And wow, more than thanks, uh, you know, appreciate the time that all of you all have taken out on this busy Thursday morning uh, at the towards the month end, in taking time out to sit and uh, you know have and be welcomed into the world of biological seed treatment. Uh, I believe we are within time and we may have about 5 minutes extra for a Q&A, which is most important because that's where the actual interaction will come. And people, you can throw your virtual tomatoes and eggs. I had my breakfast already. Haha.
Great. Yes, Ketan. So we have 45 questions.
Fantastic.
This says that people actually have taken a lot of information from the
Yes.
presentation. So let's not waste time and let's directly get into the questions. Okay.
Yeah. So I have the first one from Santosh Mule. I'm going what's coming on my screen. So Santosh has posted his question at 11 a.m. Uh, and he's talking about, are the biologicals compatible with present genre of polymers? And to which my answer is no, they are not, because most polymers which are available right now are ionic polymers. That means they will release free radicals when they are mixed in the slurry mixture. And free radicals have the first job of attacking cell walls because they want to try and bind. And that is what will, so they will attack the cell wall of the trichophospho first in the slurry mixture. And whatever was the resource spent for adding trichophospho into that slurry mixture is wasted because the free radicals are going to attack those. So that's why we have specifically written bio-friendly polymers which don't release free radicals. Uh, Moving on to Akshay Khurana, what is the role of micronutrient based seed treatment products along with fungicides and overalls? Does providing nutrients help seed directly via seed drip? Of course it does. As we have seen it, as was mentioned, sir, in the data, what we have moved along about how the macronutrient or the micronutrient helps seed treatment, and it helps in availability. But this is a macronutrient. When you're applying it directly onto the seed, we are talking about a biological which will keep providing nutrition as well as systemic based defenses for the plant by taking out the nutrient from the soil, which is what phosphate solubilizers do. It will take out the phosphorus from the soil and make it available. Are biologicals compatible with existing insecticide treatment? Santosh, I've attended to that question already. It's compatible with thiomethoxam, deltamethrin, aluminum phosphide. Deepak Shastri ji has a question. What are the nature of contents? What does mode of action, registration of toxicology purpose required, stability of formulation for commercial use? We've
Ketan,
addressed that.
Ketan, I have a
Yeah.
small request. When you're reading out the question, read it aloud such that all the participants get what the question is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Or
the
I can take up reading the question if you want. Okay. Okay. So
okay.
Deepak Shastri is asking, what are the nature of contents? What does mode of action, registration for toxicology purpose required, stability of formation for commercial use?
So nature of contents we have addressed. They are all natural in nature: groundnut shells, moong shells, rice husk, straw, bagasse. Mode of action is quadruple mode of action. We've attended to that. I can just repeat it again: competition for food resources and space, antiviruses, antagonism, and ISR, that's induced systemic resistance. We have our product is registered with Central Insecticide Board, no problem on that. Like I said, it's the first product registered. Stability of formulation and commercial use, stable for up to 18 months, no challenge on that. On the seed itself, we'll appreciate to read full transcript. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. An anonymous attendee is asking, T. viridae from Ecosense is registered under section 9.3b. The section says about provisional registration of pending registration. Can you explain in detail?
So our product is registered under section 9.3, which is a permanent registration, way back in 2009.
Great. How long can we expect protection against soil-borne pathogens after germination? Any further applications required?
So, very good question. Is it going to be, is the crop going to be sown in an endemic area, or is it going to be sown in a normal area? If it's sown in an endemic area, like specifically case in point, Basmati in Punjab, so then it needs to be done at the time of nursery, when the nursery is prepared at that seed treatment, and at the time of transplanting again, you need to do a seedling dip, so that it moves on. In
Yeah.
most cases, if it's endemic also, it's able to continue provide the protection, but then it depends on what is the nature of the endemic infection, is it, what is the microbial load pre and post application, those kinds of studies that need to be generated. People do them. We are happy to provide guidance of how that gets needs to get done, because quite a few of our partners in the West do such studies so that they are able to provide and prove this to their customers.
Nivedita Roy is asking, how robust is the efficacy trials of Triaco?
They are all, I think, very robust. It's more than 2 or 3 replications spread over 1 or 2 seasons.
I think the next question is an extension of this. What are the diseases in corn will be controlled effectively by Triaco, particularly in corn?
So I believe corn, the biggest challenge is macrophomina, and I believe Trico Fosco is able to battle macrophomina very well.
Okay. Mr. Mohammed Arif is asking, is this biological treatment retained for long time as treated seeds sold in market and sales return arrive?
Exactly. So this is the point of our doing the treatment and checking for storage stability, where the product, our Trichofosco, is active on the seed even 18 months after treatment, and we are trying to reach 21 months plus uh, away activity on the seed.
In
Now,
tri-
to that, I would like to say, sir, do we know what is the manufacturing date and expiry date of the Thyrem applied when we are applying it? Not always we are mindful of that. So, and that is a big challenge also, which is there for the people at the processing plant, that once the Thyrem is there in that facility, it's kept keeps getting used till it's over. Now it may be reaching the processing plant with only a limit, not as long as per needed, a 2 year shelf life. Maybe the timeline is reduced when it has reached the processing plant to 1 year or 15 months. So that's something also that we need to keep in track of, as to when we are applying the chemical onto the seed, that chemical also has a shelf life, and we need to be mindful of that.
Right. The next question is from Rajendra. In tricho or phospho, etc., when you say 4 grams per kg seed, what is the microbial concentration per gram, CFU?
Its minimum is 2 million CFU per gram.
Got it. Mr. Abdul is asking, we have mostly been taking about fungicides, antifungal agents for seed treatment. In fact, sucking insect pests and also the root insect pests, etc., are very crucial at initial stage of crop. Do you have any biological product for insecticidal activity, as well as both antifungal and insecticidal components?
So Trichofosco are products for disease management and nutrition management. We do have a product for helping manage uh, root uh, root chewing or root biting insects, or root borers as they are called. But most almost all biologicals are non-systemic in nature. So the sucking pest menace that happens usually must be happening above soil. So then whatever application of the biological is done onto the seed will be confined physically to being only within the soil. So it will not get translocated or translaminated to above into the plant for helping sucking pest control, which are above ground. Below ground, it will work and function.
Got that. Mr. Nukaraju is asking, how is the compatibility of these biologicals with regular seed treatment chemicals?
So with regular seed treatment chemicals means it's with a chemical insecticide. We have shown that it's compatible. With the regular polymers, it's not compatible. It has to be used a bio-friendly polymer. I believe the bio-friendly polymer is not that much more expensive, or possibly at the same price of a regular polymer.
Got it. Uh, One anonymous attendee, legally all the seeds in India should be treated with chemical. What are the chances of change in law?
So, sir, legally all products have to be treated with a product approved for seed treatment. Our products are approved for seed treatment. In our registration certificate, we have got an approval on our label also for seed treatment.
Got it. Can you also comment on the regulation hurdles you are facing for biologicals? Mostly trichoderma is used. What are the other probable microbes which you think are vital and should be allowed by Government of India?
Government of India has allowed many microbes for use for seed treatment: Trichoderma, Bacillus, Pseudomonas, Bavaria, Verticillium, uh, about nine more, Nomura. Many products are out there which are approved by Government of India for use in uh, agriculture, biologics in agriculture. Not all specifically for seed treatment or for fungal control. There are some also for insect control. So like Bacillus thuringiensis, Bavaria bassiana, then Verticillium lecani. They are also for you know Metarhizium. These are all for insect control.
Okay. Uh, this is from Mr. Chandrasekhar. If we use tricho plus phospho combination as BST, enhance germination, storage, but vigor is coming down. What is your suggestion?
Uh, for As far as I know, the vigor does not come down. If we want, we can connect with him with us offline, and I can discuss more details on that.
Sure. Mr. Vembu Sankaran is asking, please guide about the following. One is longevity or survival of DST organisms in seed packed in vapor-proof package, which is so common now.
So exactly this is the kind of now please appreciate the when you rightly use the word vapor proof, but there will always be air exchange. And if I'm wrong on that, please correct me by writing a Q&A, writing a response in Q&A, because the seed is also a living thing. It needs air to survive. So you cannot have the seed in total vacuum or with no air. It's the same with the biologicals, that moisture, if it is there, like the boon given by Lord Vishnu to water, wherever there is water, there is life. So that's exactly what happens with the seed also, and what happens with the microbe also. The minute there is moisture, growth will start. That's the same for the seed, the same for the biological. So why? Because they are both single cellular organisms, sir. The seed is also single cellular, the microbe is also single cellular. So in that sense, air is what is needed to help them survive. And we have been able to ensure 18 months. We are working, like I'm saying again, repeating, we are working towards, and I believe we have achieved 21 months. Sharing that information will take some time.
The next part of the question is effectiveness of BST organisms under moisture stress. Do they help in overcoming moisture stress during germination, field emergence?
We've actually seen that where even in waterlogged fields in cotton areas in Gujarat, the because of their certain locations having waterlogged fields, the fusarium or the rhizoctonia infestation has been overcome by when tricho is applied, because it's able to manage those particular tough, hardy infecting pathogens.
Right. And BST organisms' effectiveness against seed-borne viruses and seed store pests.
So again, seed-borne viruses, it will not be effective. I've mentioned that very clearly. They're effective against fungal diseases. We are looking at replacement of chemical fungicides more so, and helping nutrition availability at that crucial time of when the nutrients are needed in the first 30 days. Seed-borne pests, again, is we're getting into the field of controlling insects. We have products, but this is not what we have spoken about today.
Right. Mr. Sanjay Gulati is asking, wilt is a major disease in cotton damaging the crop. This year in North India, farmers are badly affected by it. Do we have any solution for this through seed treatment? Please share information.
So, on, I'm assuming the wilt is caused by Fusarium or Rhizoctonia. I don't know which, but I'm assuming it's either one of these two. And our products have been tried and tested for control of Rhizoctonia and Fusarium, even on cotton, and it has been successful.
Mr.
But
Nantra
not
is
in North specifically this year, we have not worked.
Mr. Nandra is asking what are the regulatory timelines for registrations, time and cost involved per product.
Our products are already registered. You don't need to register them, sir. You have to just use them.
Okay. Any special recommended stewardship for biologically treated seeds?
Uh, don't mix chemical fungicides and with the biological, and don't mix normal ionic polymers with the chemical seeds. These are the two cautions and stewardship that is needed, because that's the only way we're going to be able to move forward to provide the farmer with proper tools to help increase his disposable income by providing only just the needed amount of the product on the seed, which will keep multiplying in the soil as long as the roots are alive. The minute the roots die for whatever reason, the plant will also die. And most likely, even these microbes will not survive that event, which is could be either harvest and subsequent heat, or you know, some other calamity like major flooding or earthquake and things like that, or actually eating away, by some bigger animal and things like that. So as long as there's soil moisture available in the soil and soil temperatures don't exceed 42 Celsius, these microbes are good to go.
Mr. Pramod is asking any methods or technical labs to test viability of these trichos and Fosco.
Of course, any microbiology lab of a KVK or a agriculture university, or even a science microbiology college in any city or town, if they have a microbiology department, there should not be any challenge to test that.
Mr. Maruti is asking, what about mycorrhizae? Did I spell it correctly?
Yes, mycorrhiza is a product. Uh, it's a fungus which is derived from root hairs.
Are there any commercial products available?
There are. We don't have them because we believe that the whole process of harvesting mycorrhiza is basically harvesting it from the root hairs of a particular plant, and then keeping that plant always infection free, disease free. All of that is a challenge in itself. And like I said earlier, agriculture is a risky business. We don't believe at EcoSense that production should be a risky business. We believe that production should be streamlined and replicable year after year, day after day, decade after decade.
Ms. Vijaya is asking, what is the protocol for sales return seed in case of biological seed treatment?
So the product is alive and active on the seed up to 18 months as shared. Then the rest is for you all to take a call how you all want to deal with that product.
Okay. Are you working on developing insect control in early stage of the plant through biologicals?
We have biologicals for insect control, but like I said, it will be, if you want to give it through seed treatment, then it will be confined physically only below the soil, because there's no way that these microbes get translocated or translaminated through the plant or above the soil. So then it would have to be either a soil application for seed treatment for soil-borne insects, and a foliar application for but then with the foliar application, everything that what happens at the foliar level for sucking pests that we have to take care of, like rain and other things.
Is there a liquid formation for these products?
We do have it, but for seed treatment, we would suggest to go with the powder.
Okay. One anonymous attendee is asking, since it's broad spectrum, it's very important that the efficacy trial setup and data should be made available to the customers. We would also like to know how the experiments were set up, which design was used, and how the data were analyzed. And when we say there is good control, we would like to see the difference is significant.
Of course. So we are willing to share data. We need to enter into a confidentiality disclosure agreement with whoever wants to see that data and share it. And then we are more than willing to, because that's how we work, is that we enter into a confidentiality disclosure agreement and material transfer agreement at the time of sharing the samples.
Will fertilizer application before sowing will have an impact on tricho or phospho?
No. As long as there's no chemical fungicide applied, they will not have a negative impact.
Right. when registrations have been obtained under 9(3), where the government have evolved testing methods under Insecticides Act?
Yes,
Okay.
very proper methods. I have been part of various committees helping to formulate testing methods and guidances for guidelines, not only for biologicals, biopesticides, but even for biostimulants and other various products. Incidentally, I represent 850 enterprises across all 6 continents at the FAO WHO in finalizing and setting up guidelines for registration and tender business for all biologicals at the FAO WHO since 2014-15.
We have 2 questions with respect to retreating the seed. Please explain sales return seed treatment doses, and can we treat the seeds again after 18 months to make seeds more effective?
Yes, you should. After 18 months, you should retreat the seeds. After 18 months, of course, that's the best thing. If we're able to share data on up to 21 months plus, then at the next webinar, we'll request Dipti madam to share that information also. And then we can extend it by 3 months more.
Great. We have some questions in the chat box as well, so I'm just checking.
Sure, please.
Apart from seed treatment, can we use as drenching and foliar spray too?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But you'll need more material.
Right. Charudatta Deshmukh is asking, will this webinar be uploaded on YouTube? Yes, it will be uploaded by tomorrow. Is it better to store the seed for a long period by doing seed treatment, or to store a seed as it is?
That's something which your seed technology people are will have a better guidance. We don't want to get into telling seed companies how to store their seed, and we're hoping that you all don't tell us how to store our products. But yes, compatibility of your seed and our product is what we have shown and established today, that it is compatible, it can be stored, and it's compatible with packaging the materials, different packaging materials, and with different chemical insecticide treatments, and also storage pesticides like aluminum phosphide, deltamethrin. The decision to store is yours. How to store that?
Sorry, did I interrupt?
No.
Are you done answering?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a couple of questions related to the cost involved for the treatment. Have you addressed this earlier?
The cost, the treatment cost, I don't know what is the cost of how to treat it, but I don't understand whether they're asking the cost of the product or the cost of doing the treatment. The cost of doing the treatment, I cannot say that, because that's something which they know at their plant. So I don't know whether they're asking for cost of product or cost of
per kg.
Per kg. I don't know. It's there, it's available. It's not the same price as Thyram, that's for sure. Okay. Thyram sometimes, based on petroleum prices, goes up through the roof. I've seen it at as high as almost 300 rupees a kilogram, and then sometimes as low as 100 rupees a kilogram. We're in between that.
Yeah, got it. So we have addressed almost all varieties of questions. This is a request to all the participants. In case if you have any unique questions other than which are not answered, please raise your hand. You will find a raise hand button on the bottom of your screen. If you raise your hand, I can unmute you and you can ask the question. Okay. So Mr. Santosh Mule again raised his hand. So I am allowing him to talk.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Ketanji, for a very nice presentation. I have actually posted my question in the question and answer box. I was just trying to know, you are providing only one strain in this tricho product, or it's the consortia of many strains?
Only one strain of Trichoderma viride, not consortiums. No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Got it. I'm now unmuting Snehal Zanjare. Snehal, you can go ahead and talk. Unmute yourself and you can talk. Okay, since Snehal is not responding, there's an anonymous speaker, or there is Mr. Ganesh Kale. Please go ahead. Mr. Ganesh Kale. Please unmute yourself and talk. You will find a small microphone icon on the left side of your screen. You have to choose that and start talking. Okay, so, okay, one last person, Mr. Hiren. Go ahead, please. Hiren, you can unmute and talk. Yes.
Have you any strain?
Hiren, can you ask again? Your voice was not clear.
Have any strain is there for sucking pest and nematodes?
So, sir, these two products are mainly for disease control and for nutrition availability. We have products for sucking pests and nematode control also, sir.
Which ones?
Bavaria and your Pasilomyces.
Okay, Pasilomyces lilacinus.
Yeah.
And what are the rates?
Sir, this is a public forum. My email ID is there.
Okay, sure.
Please
Sure.
respond. It's not fair to others and not fair to Deepthi madam, and most of all not fair to Gubba Seed News. We are trying to do this as a concept to increase awareness amongst our seed industry friends. I don't want to be seen as a person trying to sell products using Seed News bandwidth. Sorry,
And
sir.
can we stop the nematodes with seed treatment of Pasilomyces?
I don't think that has been explored enough because when is the incidence of the nematode appearing and how does that work with the germination? As far as what I'm given to understand is Pasilomyces is given more as a soil application and is not given as a seed treatment.
I have seen.
Because if you're giving the Pasilomyces as a seed treatment, you will also have to give some product for control of fungals. Now, if you're doing a chemical fungicide and Pasilomyces, then your Pasilomyces is dead because the fungicide will kill the Pasilomyces. So you have to give a biological fungicide which is non-pathogenic to Pasilomyces, and you have to give a Pasilomyces which is non-pathogenic to the biofungicide. And that's how it will work. You can't do one bioinsecticide and one chemical fungicide. It won't work. Or other way around.
Because in greenhouses, seedling in case of seedling stage, many times nematode infestation is very high due to sunlight. That is why I'm asking.
No, no, I'm not saying don't. I'm just giving you my feedback as to this is how it will work. So you have to be mindful of how you do this application, sir.
Okay.
And so since we are done with the questions, I would request one or two participants to share their feedback about how this session has added value to them. Please raise your hands now. So I am unmuting Mr. Lakshmi Narayana Harivanam.
Yeah, thanks, Deepti. The thing is that I raised my hand for a question to Mr. Ketan. I will add my feedback also to this. Before that, I would like to ask question to Ketan. There are many post-flowering stock rods and late wilt in core. Is there any biological solutions explored for control of stock rods, mainly Fusarium, charcoal, Diplodia, which are not able to control by any chemical formulations? That is my
Okay.
before
Right.
answers. Yeah, Katanji. Yeah.
So specifically for stock rot on maize, we have not done trials. But if you see the data that was shared for wheat using Fosco Trico on Septoria blight, at 129 days also the effect was there of the seed treatment. What does that mean is that it is effective in creating a immunity system within the plant to fend off late occurring diseases also at 129 days after planting. So I'm assuming, I don't know exactly when stalk rot occurs, but if it is assuming or occurring after a particular timeline, which is possibly 100 days plus, it will for sure be effective against that infecting plant.
Thanks, Ketanji. It is post flowering somewhere around 60 to 80 days. Thanks
Like,
for that. And again, I would like to thank you for a nice presentation. Definitely, it will help us in increasing the productivity of the farmer and increase the lives of the farmers. Thanks for the nice presentation. We would look forward to work with you uh, after getting alignment with our business. Thanks, Ketanji.
thank you, Mr. Lakshminarayan.
Thank you.
There is one last person, Manohar Desale. Manohar ji, please go ahead and talk.
Hello.
Yes, Manohar ji.
Hello, Ketan ji.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Very good presentations.
Thank you.
ये जो ट्रीटमेंट है हम बल्ब टिपिल कर रहे हैं अभी हम बल्ब में यूज कर सकते क्या?
समझा नहीं सर.
जो हम सीड प्रोडक्शन ले रहे हैं अभी ओनियन का उसमें जो
हाँ.
हम बल्ब लगा रहे हैं ट्रांसप्लांटिंग कर रहे हैं बल्ब का
हाँ
उसमें
बल्ब का हाँ बल्ब ट्रीटमेंट कर सकते हैं. बल्ब ट्रीटमेंट मैं बल्ब सुना, सॉरी. हाँ बल्ब ट्रीटमेंट कर सकते हैं 100%.
उसमें क्या बेनिफिट होगा सर?
सर इसमें व्हाटएवर आपका जो पर्पल ब्लॉच का इश्यूज आता है उसका सब कंट्रोल हो जाएगा सर.
ओके सर. ये आपने को कहाँ मिलेगा सर अपना को ये केमिकल?
आप हमारा ईमेल आईडी है मैडम, अभी वो शेयर करेगा आपको, या तो स्क्रीन पे अगर है तो मेरा मोबाइल नंबर दिया है फर्स्ट.
यस सर, मैं नोट कर लिया सर आप. ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Great. And just before ending, there are a lot of appreciations in the chat box as well, Ketan.
Okay.
I would like to read just one of it. Mr.
Please.
Sivaprasad is saying, so authentic, so knowledgeable you are, Ketan ji. Thank you for your great contribution to the science of biological seed treatment. Wishing you continued success in developing and making the seed treatment products available for the use by seed companies in a large scale.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you, Mr. Shivaprasad, sir.
Yes. Oh, we have 5 participants raised hands, but I'm really sorry. We are pressed for time. And But surely, if you have any questions, please do put it in the Q&A session, Q&A box. We will come back. Raj, I request you to note the questions, to download the questions such that it can be answered later. And
And if you feel that we should answer any more questions, whether they want to send that information to you subsequently, and then over the course of the year, whatever week, 10 days, we can answer those queries.
absolutely, we can do that.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. And having reached the end of the program, I thank each of the participants for your valuable time spent. As Ketanji said, on a Thursday morning, you came here to attend this webinar, seeing some value that you can take back to your workplace, to your seat. And I hope we have provided that value to you. I specifically thank Mr. Mehta for being very patient in addressing so many questions and educating all of us in using biologicals for seed treatment, reiterating the safety of the seed. And you also addressed another important aspect in this whole webinar, creating a disposable income for farmers. It's a great thing. Thank you so much. And lastly, I would like to acknowledge Rajkumar and Naveen, because without their support, this webinar wouldn't have been possible with such impeccableness. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, this recorded webinar, will be available on YouTube and also on our Facebook page. You can anytime refer to that. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, madam. Good day.
Good day.
Thanks all the best. Happy Rabi season to all.
Yes.
Okay.